Hi there. We're going to dive into the patient observer method. And so I named all these methods mostly because I think it gives us a better insight into what we do when we're using them. And so when I'm talking about the patient observer, so when I talk about patient, I almost called it unsatisfied, but I didn't want to call it the unsatisfied observer just because I don't know that didn't quite sound as good. But maybe I should have. But yeah, so the patient observer, so they're patient, so they're waiting. But they kind of have this bit of this unsatisfied feel where they just feel like they just can't figure it out. They can't figure out where to go. And then the observers, they're watching everybody else. They see what everybody else is doing, and they see that some people are like, great, they have direction to their life. They see some others who maybe they don't, but they just can't figure out what to do. Now, I'm saying this in each of the videos. Now, these methods are definitely not set in stone. I think lots of us will swap between using different pieces of each at different times, and that's why the quiz kind of gives you a percentage on which one you're probably using right now. And so you can feel free to check out those other videos, and so they'll be on YouTube or Instagram, or the links for them are also on the quiz results page here as well. And so how the patient observer, how they get direction to their life is they kind of just remain where they're at. And they're not sure where to go. They're kind of unsettled, and they really long to figure out whatever it is that's inside. They long to figure out, okay, like what should I do with my life? Where should I go? Like who am I? What's my calling? Those kind of things. And they feel like everyone. They kind of feel like everyone else has direction to their life, while they're kind of just left behind. And so what they do is they stick it out, and so they keep the status quo, but they never really move forward. And they might start at an entry level job, and they might stay there for a while, which actually totally isn't bad. Like entry level jobs are so important. It grows character. It teaches you how like so many life skills, like how to hold a job and that kind of thing. But like rather than actually like moving forward, or rather than getting like the job or like making progress forward, they kind of just stayed level in a sense. And so I think the biggest issue is it takes years, or they might never like really figure out what they want to do because they don't know what to do, or they're not really sure like how to ask the right questions or what question to ask, or they're afraid to try. And so I think the fix for this is you really need to figure out like who you are and what your calling is, and then you need to be willing to risk a little bit, which can be scary at times. So a quick little step that you can take here, and there's actually two of them, is I want you to write down some questions. So the questions I want you to write down are, what makes you you? What sets you apart from everyone else? And who are you really? Because what you can do with those questions is take some time and take some actual real time to start answering them. And once you kind of formulated some answers and stuff like that, you can really start figuring out like how you can actually leverage those on in your day-to-day life. And so, yeah, so that's step number one. Step number two is maybe you have an idea already of like, oh, like this is kind of something I'd like to try, or this is something I'd like to figure out. And so my question for you would be with that idea, like, what's stopping you? Like, imagine like the very first step that you would need to take in order to actually make that idea happen. Like, what's the first thing? So maybe it's like looking into university costs. Maybe it's, I don't know, talking to somebody about the career that they have, if that's a career maybe that you want. Like what's that very first step, and what's stopping you from taking that first step? Because I can encourage you, like just yeah, take a small step, go and see, don't let fear hold you back. And so those are two easy steps that'll help you out. So I hope this added a lot of value to you. I'd love it if you'd let me know if this resonated at all. And so you can feel free to check out those other videos. And thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon.